Hello again. Today I'm doing my This Week in Booktube video. For those who aren't aware, This Week in Booktube is my weekly video where I cover all of the readalongs and readathons and booktuber milestones that I find on Booktube. The first part of this video is readalongs. And honestly, I guess because it's the middle of the month and I've covered some of the readalongs already, I haven't really found any new readalongs. The only thing I will mention to you guys is that I know that Steve Donahue is going to be covering Moby Dick in November, which I don't think I actually covered on a previous video, so that's also another readalong. From this video you can see all of the older readalongs that I've mentioned before right after this announcement, and then you'll get to see the next readathons. Molly Strzelecki, she is doing a fifth wave read-along. She's going to be reading the fifth wave from November 1st to November 30th. Then the second book, The Infinite Sea, from December 1st to December 31st. And then the last star from January 1st to January 31st. Tomb Infinity and Sarcasm and Sci-Fi have a galactic Grimore book club where they are reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and the graphic novel Bitch Planet Volume 1. Twilightathon, where these 4 different booktubers are going to read through the Twilight books. So they're going to cover the first book, Twilight, and between the 28th of October and the 4th of November. And they're going to have a live show on the 4th of November on Grace Marie's channel. So it's going to be Grace Marie, Laurie Dawson, Where in the World is Leah James, and Keeping Tabs are all going to be running this read-along for all of the Twilight books. Beck's Book and Punk Rock Girl PA are doing a Train Your Dragon read-along. The current book is How to Train Your Dragon. That's currently being read. And the live show for that first book is October 28th. At 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then they will read another book every month. The Witchlands read-along, which covers the Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Sight Witch series of books. JLW Reads is doing this. Truth Witch will be going on from October 21st to November 24th. The read-along for Wind Witch will be November 25th to December 29th, and then Sight Witch will be December 30th to February 2nd. Musings of a Cat is doing what she's calling the Forensic Mysteries read-along. She's doing a read-along of this series by Elaine Ferguson, and she's going to be covering The Christopher Killer in October, The Angel of Death in November, The Circle of Blood in December, and The Dying Breath in January. And the way she described these books actually made it sound really interesting to me, so I decided to actually pick up The Christopher Killer and see if I would enjoy this book. So I will be reading this series along with her for at least the month of October to see if I like it. Speaking of Halloween, Bookish Realm is also doing a Goosebumps read-along. October 22nd to the 28th is Night of the Living Dummy and the Girl Who Cried Monster. October 29th to November 4th is Welcome to Camp Nightmare and The Ghost Next Door. LizziefayeLovesBooks, she's doing the Cherry Cola Book Club, which is a 6-book series written by Ashton Lee. The read-along schedule is the second book is The Reading Circle in October, The Wedding Circle in November, A Cherry Cola Christmas in December, Queen of the Cookbooks in January, and Book Club Babies in February. Next one is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone read-along announcement, which is all 3 books in that trilogy. There are a bunch of hosts: Bookish Drama, Happy Booktuber, Dragon Queen's Lair, Grace Mary, Where in the World is Leah Jane, Reader Bee, and Reading with Ryan are all hosting this. It's going to be running from October through December. The Nevernight and God's Grave read-along. Pierre Ford and Little Book Owl are hosting this read-along. God's Grave on the 28th of October on Pierre's channel. Completely Melanie is doing her Potterwatch read-along. October 22nd is the second book. November 24th is the third. December 22nd is the fourth. The 19th is The Order of the Phoenix. The 16th of February is The Half-Blood Prince. March 30th is Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, and April 27th is going to be Harry Potter and the Cursed. Now I'm going to cover all of the readathons that are going on. And the first readathon I'm going to talk about is the Mangathon, which is going on from October 21st to the 27th. A Court of Books and Love did a video on it. There are a couple of other people in the actual hosting, but not on YouTube. They're hosting on Instagram. But I will give you what the challenges are for this readathon that's going on from October 21st to October 27th. So the challenges are broken up into two different columns. I'll put a link to the picture that they have on Instagram. It is trick or treat. So you can pick both of them, either or, however you want to do it. So you can pick a creepy manga or a fluffy manga. You can pick a fantasy manga or a contemporary manga. Read by candlelight or read by sunshine. A manga with a dark cover or a manga with a bright cover. Shonen manga or a shoujo manga, a manga that's new to you, or an old favorite. Next thing I'm going to talk about is bookolive's nonfiction November readathon. It's a very popular readathon that's been going on for a while. She basically says that you only need to read one nonfiction book for the month of November and you'll be part of the readathon, but if you want some challenges, she has some vague words associated where you could kind of match with nonfiction. Challenges are 2-word pairings, so it's past time or pastime. Next one is self or shelf. Third one is wander or wonder. And the fourth one is micro or macro. And again, that's going on for the whole month of November. Next readathon I'm going to talk about is Read-O-Rama, 11th round of Read-O-Rama, the Weekend Warrior Edition, which is going on from November 16th to November 18th. Bunch of people are hosting. Gwendolyn Kessinger, Brunette Bibliophile, April Sarah, Pucks and Paperbacks. And the challenges are to read 3 books, do a TBR jar challenge. So you pick 10 books or prompts, and then you choose at random. And the third challenge is to read a book with a fall cover. Paperback Junkie is also doing a readathon that is calling a read-along, but it's a Star Trek read-along for the month of November, where you basically have to read just one Star Trek book, any Star Trek book. Next readathon I'm going to talk about is Readathon. A Court of Books and Love is doing that with Jessie Marie 493, a very bookish girl as well. The challenges are read a book that's been on your TBR for over a year. Read a book that was gifted to you or that you got in a subscription box. Read a book with a fall colored cover. Read a book in a non-traditional format, an ebook, audiobook, graphic novel, manga, etc. Read a book entirely in a cozy spot. And read a group book, Dress Code for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens. Now this readathon is supposed to be to actually thin out your TBR pile of books. So these are supposed to be books that you actually already own and that you don't actually buy for the readathon, which is a nice concept that I really enjoy. Next readathon is another nonfiction readathon that's running on in the month of November. They're calling it NFN 2018. So it doesn't get confused with the nonfiction November that's bookolive is doing. This one is being hosted by Kylie A, Triumphal Reads, Alex Black, and Reader B. And the goal is to get people to read more nonfiction. Just like the other nonfiction readathon, if you read at least one nonfiction book, you're successful in reading this nonfiction readathon. But they do have a bunch of challenges. Their goal for this is for you to read at least 4 books, though, if you could, for the month of November. And another goal is to not DNF any books that you read for nonfiction November. So these are all of the challenges. Read a book with a diagram, chart, or graph in it. Read a book with a map in it. Read a book about nature. Read a memoir or biography. Read a STEM book. Read a book about a different culture from your own or about a country you haven't been to. Read a book about a war or conflict other than World War II. Read a book with poetry. Read a book to help you develop a talent or skill. Read a collection of essays. Read a book written by a journalist. Read a book with no pictures. Read a book with more pictures than text. Read a book about something that happened at least 100 years ago. Read a book that gets you thinking deep thoughts. And read a book to do with the mind. Borrow-a-thon, round 5. That will be going on from November 4th to November 11th. There are a bunch of hosts. I will link to It's a Reading Things announcement video. And you can see all the different hosts that she has in her description, along with all of the challenges as well. Next readathon I'm going to talk about here is Randomathon Round 6. That is going on place from October 22nd to October 31st. Molly Strzelecki is also doing this, along with Aubrey Joe Books and Hardcore Hannah. The 5 challenges for that is the group book Truly Devious, read a thriller, read a book set in fall, read a book with orange on the cover, and read a book with the color of your favorite candy wrapper. Thanksathon, Zach Loves Books, Vanessa Lee Reyes, Amber the Niffler, and Nikki Culver are all running this readathon. It runs from November 10th to November 15th. There are video challenges. First one would be a book-inspired snack. Make a book pie is the second one on the 12th. On the 13th is recreate book covers using Thanksgiving fall items. And on the 14th, a bookish family dinner, which is explained in the videos. Then the reading challenges for the actual readathon is read a book with shadows on the cover, read a book suggested by someone you are thankful for, read a book with a stormy spine, read a children's middle grade book where the main character doesn't get along with their family. And the 5th challenge is actually to read 5 books of any books that you want to read. Just read 5 books in total. Next readathon is the Boo-athon by the Book Pusher. That is from October 24th to October 31st. And the challenges are something with an orange cover, a retelling, an adaptation, relating to spirit, relating to the word enchanting, a dealer's choice, and participate 7 times with Boo-athon. Next readathon I'm going to talk about is Booktuber. There are 5 different hosts for this. Chelsea Palmer, Paper Fairy, Don't Stop Reading, Zariah Rose, and Derby Lane Reading. Readathon, which is October 21st to the 27th. And the theme is they need help to rid a haunted house of its evil inhabitants. For every reading challenges you complete, you earn points that help us defeat the monsters. You pick a team and you join the fight. The first 5 challenges and then clan challenges to determine additional challenges. So the way this works is there are 5 challenges and then there are actually clans that you can join to have additional book related challenges. So the first challenge is read a Halloween themed book of your choice. Second challenge is pick a clan and read a book involving your clan's mascot. The clans are Lichens, Vampire Bats, Brujas, Corpse Bride, and Black Cat. For Corpse Bride, you can read a book involving any type of bride. And Vampire Bats can be read a book with vampires or bats. The third challenge is read a book that includes a haunted house. Fourth challenge is read a poetry or short story collection. 5th challenge is read a book based on something you are or have been afraid of. Now, if you are part of the Lichen clan, you would read a book at nighttime and read a book you feel like everyone else has read and you don't want to miss out on. If you are part of the Vampire Bat clan, you would read a book with winged characters or wings on the cover, and then read a book that hooked you from the first sentence. If you are from the Brujas, you would read a book about the occult and read a book while surrounded by candles or crystals. If you're Corpse Bride, read a book you know you will love forever, and read a book with a dress on the cover. For Black Cat, read a book with bad luck, and read a book with a great friendship or partnership. So that is Spooktober. The next readathon is the Witchathon readathon. That is Crescent Moon Reads is running that. That is going to be from the 24th of October to the 31st of October. And the prompts for that are light a candle to your ancestors and read a book by candlelight. It's a time for honoring our kin. Sam Hain is widely known as Halloween. Read a spooky horror thriller novel. The veil between the worlds is thinnest. Read a book that has paranormal elements. In honor of your ancestors, read a book that features your ethnic heritage. Every witch needs their coven. Buddy read a book. And then the group book will be The Girl Who Drank the Moon. And the next readathon I'm going to talk about is the A to Z readathon, which has been done before, but this is a new one now that's going to take place from November 1st to November 30th. It's basically, read books from A to Z. There is normal mode, which is pick either author name or book title, then read books to make sure you've covered every letter of the alphabet. Example, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter would net you 16 of 26 letters, and you just basically try to fit all of the 26 letters. Then there's hard mode, which is Pick an author's last name or title, which is read one book for every letter, with X being wild. And it sounds like an interesting readathon, so if you're interested in trying it out, I'll give you the link down in the description. Now on to my booktuber milestones. There's 2 I'm going to cover today. Bookish Drama just hit 100 subscribers and did a video about it, and the Happy Booktuber hit 200 subscribers and did a video about it. Congratulations to both of them for their milestones. And that is it for this installment of This Week in Booktube. Again, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.